Hey you guys, welcome. I'm Parshvika. Welcome to my channel where we talk a lot about making money online as a creative person, as an artist. Today I'm going to talk about print on demand design trends for 2026. And this is going to be pretty interesting and pretty amazing based on my own research and knowledge so far. Other designers, other creators may tell you something else. Whatever resonates with you, take it. If you don't like it, reject it. Simple. That's all I say. Because it's not a one-size-fits box that everyone needs to do exactly what's happening or what's trending. No, you can skip the trends if you don't like it and do what you like it. Okay, let's begin. Give this video a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing, turn on the bell notification. Whenever I post new videos, you're gonna get notified about it. I have a lot of the courses, ebooks, guides, planners, workbooks. The links are in description. Check it out if you're interested. Also, I have an exclusive free email newsletter if you want the free email newsletter every single week, I think, in your inbox. Let's begin. So I'm going to talk about some niches which I think is going to be popular based on my experience so far. The first one I'm going to talk about is the retro. Now, retro has been popular, it's not just popular, it's not going to be just popular in 2026. I see the trend started back in 2022, 2023, and so far the retro is going way more popular. Like I've seen the creator guide on the Zazzle, they talk a lot about the retro. And retro is something that's combining the 60s and 70s theme with the bold, bright colors and bright fonts and like bold fonts, that kind of theme. I love it because you get to choose to use so many different colors. If you are the person who love colors, you love the rainbow patterns, you love multiple different colors in your designs, in your textures, in your patterns, whatever you're creating, this niche is exactly for you. It's still going to be popular in 2026, and I think it's going to be there for more couple of the years because it is what it is. I love this niche because it's so bold, bright colors, and you get to choose different colors. You mix and match different colors and use the different kinds of the fonts. Something like you can call it as a little bit fancy. That's what you can call it. The second trend that I feel is the minimalistic. Now, minimalistic hasn't been just the trend in 2026. It's been there quite a while. Over the last 4 or 5 years, I've seen minimalistic is way more popular and the trend is not going anywhere around. It's still going to be popular because there are the people in the world who love minimal designs. Simple, easy, classic, or chic, or whatever terminology they want to use, which is very simple, and they do it and they update it. It looks very clean, very neat on the paper, and they like to use these designs. They like to buy them. They like to buy such wedding invitations, bridal shower party invitation, bachelor party, whatever. Minimalistic, just like retro, sell in every different sub-niche, product, occasion, event, whatever. That's the second niche that's still going to be trending in 2026. And with the minimalistic is something like that, especially if you're starting as a newbie designer and you don't know what fonts, graphics, design elements to use, how to use, what the layout of the design look like, especially if you're creating designs for Zazzle, like invitations, cards, or something like that. You don't know how to mix and match. Go with the minimal. No need to use 2 or 3 fonts in a design. One font, do its job. No need to use the graphical elements if you don't know how to use them. You can just use the text font and that's going to do its job. Simple. Or just one simple graphic here and there, that would be enough. And that's why the minimalist is popular for a lot of the people. And there is like a minimalist trend, not just in the print on demand. It's like a trend. You see a YouTube videos talking about how to be minimalistic, how to have a minimalistic wardrobe, how to do this, what to do this. And minimalistic is like a very freaking popular trend. And there are so many people who are moving to the minimalistic. It's their choice, no judgment. So that's the second niche. The third thing that I feel will still going to be popular is the vintage, because people do like vintage, the old stuff. Now, of course, the vintage can be sometimes mistaken with the retro because retro is also 60-70 theme. But vintage is like more like classic, kind of like more like, I feel like bossy feeling. When I look at the vintage theme, especially around the classic wedding invitations that I see on Zazzle or even on the Etsy, I feel like it's more bossy kind of like theme, like more kind of like a royal theme. That's what I can say. Especially the theme that was around the corner when the royal king and queen were there. Some countries do still have their king and queen, but those times, like very, very old times, when the king and queen was ruling the world or ruling the countries and cities, and their paperwork, and they were using like how to say, they were using like fountain pen to write a letter, and then they seal it with the wax or something like that. That's very freaking old. Now people still do wax seals, like Zazzle has a product as a wax seals, and nothing wrong with that, but it's actually coming from a very old culture. It's not a new culture, right? So the vintage and combined with the classic gives you that vibe. Like for me, it gives me that vibe. That's what I feel like whenever I look at the classic and vintage. Kind of like combined together, but again, they are two different niches. But this one is still going to be popular because there are the people who like to have their invitations or their products giving them the vintage vibe or vintage feeling, because they love that feeling. Personally, I never target with the vintage or classic because I don't know what to target it, because I don't that much relate to the vintage and classic content, that kind of product. So I don't create it, but it's still gonna be popular. If you're interested, go forward and target it. The last one that I want to talk about, which I think will still gonna be popular, is florals. Now florals is more evergreen, not just trend is there, but then there are the trends like the wildflowers or particular specific flowers, like the blue shades, white shades, brown shades, like specific theme around the flowers is still gonna be popular, it's still gonna be trendy, and it's been there for quite a while. And florals are something that you can mix match around, and you can literally create anything out of it, and it works, and it's still beautiful. So these are some trends that I personally think. Let me know, guys, in the comment section below what you think will be the trend for 2026. What do you think? Based on your experience, your knowledge, or your views, let me know. If you have any questions, video topics, let me know. And if you want the part 2 of this trend, let me know. I'll make a part 2 as well if you guys want it. Anyways, thank you so much for this video. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.